Welcome to CLB's digital series, Where Are We Now? I am your host, Jocelyn Hunter, CLB's Senior Director of Communications. Thanks to our listeners for tuning in. Happy to welcome to our show our guest, Gabe. Gabe is a high school student here in the DMV area, and recently he developed an app called Pocket Cane for people who are blind or visually impaired. He's joining us today to highlight this innovation and to describe its function in great detail. Welcome, Gabe.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to introduce my application to more people.
Of course. Well, we thank you for your consideration of our community and congratulations on your innovation. We are excited about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So let's get started. Tell us, what is the origin story for this app? What was your inspiration?
I'm very into technology, and I was looking at the different features of the iPhone, and I noticed that as part of its camera system, some models of the iPhone, specifically the Pro iPhones, have a depth sensor on them. And I found this very interesting because so many people have this incredibly precise piece of sensing on their phone that is really not used much except occasionally by the internals of the phone. And I thought that in combination with the vibration, you could use that to help create a system that helps blind people and blind deaf people navigate around similar to a white cane. And this is just an idea I had. I have lots of ideas, and I'm always thinking of new things to do with software and technology.
Very observant of you to notice that opportunity and to determine a usefulness for it for the good of our community.
Yeah. I'm always looking at the technology we have and trying to find out new, unique ways to use the technology that people already have.
In your explanation, you mentioned the long cane, the cane that our community often uses to navigate from one place to a destination safely. And intriguing, and I'm curious to learn, was that the motivation around the name of the app, Pocket Cane?
Yes, actually. From the start, I designed this to be a sort of analog to a white cane. Not exactly the same, but it's the same idea. When an object is closer, you receive a stronger vibration. Information about your surroundings in a specific direction is communicated through a vibration. It's sort of just like a white cane in that respect. So, yes, I named it Pocket Cane because using your phone, you can have a white cane that fits in your pocket.
Very clever. And as you know, Gabe, one of Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind's core comprehensive programming and the service that we deliver for all ages is orientation and mobility. We have certified orientation and mobility specialists who teach individuals of all ages how to travel safely with the use of a long cane. And this pairing of technology, in addition to that skill set, is certainly, we are hoping to be a valuable addition.
Of course, yeah. I'm hoping once the app is released to the App Store, which should happen a couple months from when people see this interview, CLB will be able to integrate it into some of their teachings. And if people are interested, they can give them a more thorough introduction to the application.
Well, thank you, Gabe. And you mentioned a timeline. That's a teaser. It sounds like the app will be available before the end of this calendar year. So in this year, 2026, we can look forward to downloading the app. from the App Store. Is that on track?
Yes, that's correct. It should be available in the final quarter of 2026, August or September. It will release on the App Store, Pocket Cane, and you will be able to download it. Currently, if you're interested and you'd like a reminder, you should contact Columbia Lighthouse for the blind and let them know that you're interested.
Thank you, Gabe. Yes, I echo that mention. Certainly for listeners out there, if you're keen on accessing this new upcoming technology, please contact our organization, Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. Gabe, we mentioned that you are local to the DMV. Will this app be available to markets beyond the DMV? Will it be available throughout the nation?
Yes, everybody with an iPhone will be able to access the app. However, because it relies on the LiDAR depth sensor, you will need to have a pro version of the iPhone. Specifically, any model 12 Pro or above will you need to have that. But yes, anywhere you are, location doesn't matter, you will be able to use it. And I should mention, it's not a comprehensive tool that will allow you to navigate perfectly, so you shouldn't rely solely on this app when you're navigating.
That's helpful information, Gabe. Thank you. Thank you first for reminding us all that the app will be available for users who have a certain version of the iPhone. And secondly, thank you for re-emphasizing that the app is not in place of orientation and mobility skills training and capability. And wanting to remind listeners out there that Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind does provide orientation and mobility training for people of all ages who are residents of the Washington, D.C. region. So please call upon us, contact us if you are in need of that skills training. Gabe, will there be a cost to users who want to access this app when they download it? Will it be at no cost or will there be a cost?
There will not be a cost to users in the foreseeable future. However, some aspects of the app, specifically the new AI vision feature I added after feedback, does require a small fee from the provider. And therefore, eventually, if it reaches a critical mass of users, there may need to be payment in place. But I will not charge unless I really need to.
Thank you, Gabe, for that transparency. And super curious, what is that AI vision feature that you mentioned?
Yeah, so there's a physical component of the app, which is the depth sensor and the vibration, depending on where you're pointing and how close the thing you're pointing at is. However, there's also an AI vision feature where there are two buttons accessible via voiceover, of course, and one is key item. It'll describe in detail an object that you're holding or pointing at by sending an image from the camera to an AI service. The second one is an environment describe button. And the environment button, well, you're intended to point your phone at the area in front of you, facing the same way you're facing, and it will give you a general description of your environment, which obstacles there are blocking your path, the overall direction of the path, and overall just a general description of your environment. Those are the two AI vision features that I've added after hearing feedback from my initial users.
Sounds beneficial for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you mentioned hearing feedback, and obviously you are absorbing the feedback and putting it into the app, which is tremendous that you're reaching out to the community, to the end user, so that the product can have a valuable place in our market.
Yes, absolutely. The most important thing is that this is actually useful. And the only way I can do that is by relying on the feedback of blind and visually impaired people.
Well, Gabe, we appreciate again your recognition of our community. Thank you for your outreach to Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to releasing this app in the final quarter of 2026. And again, if people are interested, they should contact Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind and they will be sent a reminder when the app releases.
Thank you, Gabe, for joining this episode and enlightening us about your newly developed app. For our listeners, please contact CLB at clb.org or call 240-737-5100 to learn more about CLB, and specifically if you would like to gain more information about the Pocket Cane app and its release date, please contact us. Thank you all.